40% of the U.S. population lives paycheck to paycheck. One of the things that made that so much more evident was the economic shutdown and individuals having to, we heard the stories of individuals having to sell their wedding rings, have yard sales and things like that. What it also did, I hope, was make it feel more normal. The reality is that many of us are poor for all intents and purposes. And that word has a bad connotation in this country, but we need to make it feel normal. I'm not saying that it's the right thing, but I don't also believe everybody wants to be rich either. But I want us to take out the negativity out of that word and make it more human and make it feel more normal. 60,000 people live paycheck to paycheck, where the loss of one paycheck could be very devastating. I experienced it myself this summer when I lost my part-time job. I didn't realize how much that second job, that income from that second job made a difference in making sure that I could pay my bills, which is why I'm starting a movement. I hope it will become a movement. I am the 40%, so that we can start to dissipate that word and get all of the negatives out of that word and make it sound real. It is normal. And let's start talking about the things that can help us move forward. So that if it is your desire to not be a part of the 40%, or maybe it's the idea of how to survive while you're being in that 40%, I'm hoping that we can start a movement that talks about the impact of technology on the 40%, because the impact will be the greatest. The changes in our economy will impact the 40% the most. We have on the horizon automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality. Many of us don't even know what all of those words are, or what's the meaning behind those. And we want to explore that. We want to explore entrepreneurship as those jobs disappear. What are your options? Now we live in a social media age where it is possible to use your creativity to make income. And I believe that as we move forward in the future, jobs will consist of both tapping into your passion, the jobs or the things that you would do even if you weren't willing to, even if you weren't getting money from it, and then how to figure out how to make money from that passion, coupled with, quote unquote, the, normal job, the 8 to 5, those kinds of things. I do believe that you'll start to see changes in our work week, what the definition is. So it will be a requirement to kind of have two types of income coming in, one from your quote unquote normal job and one where you're tapping into your creativity and entrepreneurship. So I think that's important to talk about, as well as really getting into the idea of what it will feel like to be poor in the future. I think that you won't be poor without hope. I think you will be poor with hope, because there's always going to be a way to get a quick dollar with our gig jobs. The gig economy will create an opportunity for you to always say, oh, well, let me pick up $75 by selling a pair of shoes on Poshmark, or selling I believe there's even a sneaker share website where you can sell your sneakers and things like that. So the definition of poverty and what poverty means in the United States will start to feel different over the next 2 decades. And really, I want us to start getting prepared. I want us to understand how it's going to impact us, and then also create an advocacy, making sure that everybody knows that they've got to advocate. And definitely, if you're a parent, you're advocating for your children, because your children are going to grow up in a different world where there may or may not be nearly the strength of the the safety net will not be as strong, okay? Because we're moving from a dependency society to an independent society. When you look at how many things you can do by yourself, meaning that you don't have to go to the bank, you can scan a picture of your check and cash the check that way, or deposit it into your account. Those are all signals. The whole notion of scan and go at a grocery store, you're not interacting with the cashier, you're interacting with just a register. And so all of those things will have an impact on you. And of course, the government is going to be paying attention to that. And so then they'll be like, hey, it's a possibility that you possibly don't need nearly as much from them. So those are the things that we want to explore on this website. We also want this website to also be an incubator for those that are working and need to also work on their dreams. So we will back up what many of the things I just mentioned by creating an incubator. I call it Sow the Seed, and it takes off from the chapter in Matthew where it talks about the size of a mustard seed. You just need to have faith the size of a mustard seed. And that's what I truly believe, is that we are living in a time where really we just need that much faith and belief in ourselves to propel our communities forward.